All right, Gray. Let's talk more commitment here. Part two here. Gray Burnett, the newest Penn State Nittany Lion commit. You are class of 2027. You're the number four ranked overall recruit in the class of 2027, pound for pound. That's for my man Willie Saylor. Willie's the guy, right? Willie's
Yeah,
the
he's the
guy.
guy. Yeah. Yeah.
When we left off, you were talking about Coach Kale and the staff at Penn State. You were talking about your relationships and the necessity to talk to Coach Mark Manning and the
Mhm.
staff at Nebraska, and then Coach Snyder. Obviously, your dad and Snyder were teammates for a season at Nebraska, and
Yep.
then obviously your deep relationship with the Ohio State staff. Logan
Yeah.
Stieber was coached by your dad, Ron, or your grandfather. I'm sorry, your Opa,
Yep. Yep.
Ron
Opa.
Burnett. Ron Burnett was his
Yeah.
coach. He got the Jolly Ranchers, I'm guessing. Barrel rolls,
Of course.
firemen's, everything,
Yep.
inside stand up, right?
Yep.
Right?
That's it.
The same
That's all you need.
that you got, and your Uncle Eric got, and your dad got, the Stieber brothers got. I think my nephew Ian might have got a little bit of that.
He definitely did for sure.
Dustin Kilgore. So it's
Yeah.
a great club. BTW is a great club. Um, I know you guys, obviously the Blaze brothers, they're a little later, and Ron, I believe had passed by the time they came into Perrysburg.
Hmm.
Joey and Marcus had just come in, and Ron had
Yeah.
passed maybe a year or two earlier.
Yeah.
And then do you remember Ron coaching you at the OEC that one year? That
Oh yeah.
video
Of
I sent you
course.
periodically.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, he coached me. He coached me. At OAC. Yeah. My first I don't even know. Like 4 years. Of course.
Yeah.
Him and my dad. Yeah. Of
How
course.
awesome are those memories? What you do remember of them?
Yeah, no, they're awesome. My Opa he was the man. He's a super good dude. Um, awesome coach. And what's crazy about him was he never wrestled ever. So he just kind of, I don't even know the full story, but he just kind of learned about it, picked up on it, and then started coaching. And he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, in my opinion. I mean, for sure, Ohio. But yeah, it was. I remember him just being just being a really good coach, being really supportive. And yeah, he taught me a lot of what I still do. So it's cool.
So the biggest thing with your dad and your uncle and their wrestling careers were they were not friends with academics, right? They
Yeah,
did
yeah,
not
they were kind of
love school, right? They did. Uncle
yeah,
Eric's big joke is he went to Oberlin High. He was a four-time state champ for Oberlin High. And he had a big zero on his chest for his GPA, right? You've heard that
yeah,
one. I know you have.
yeah, I have, yeah,
But when you hear them talk about, like, the pitfalls, if you will,
yeah,
of not being strong students. Obviously, your mom has a 4-year degree from Kent State.
yep,
Worked at Oberlin College, and you lived down the road from your Oma and
yeah,
Opa, didn't you?
yeah. It was super cool, right down the road
How old were
in
you
a
when?
castle.
How old were you?
We probably lived there until I was like probably 7, maybe 6. It was I moved when I was 6 or 7, but yeah, we lived in this like crazy building that literally looks like a castle from
Yeah,
Harry Potter,
I was there.
Hogwarts.
I remember when you
Yeah,
were
no,
a
yeah,
baby going there.
literally like Hogwarts castle. We lived in there, little apartment in there, sweet, nice little, like small but perfect. Had this cool little lobby. But I think we probably lived there till when I was about maybe not even, yeah, probably about 6, because we moved to Wasion, and I was really young when I wrestled at Wasion, because when I won OAC and stuff was at Wasion, I think. So maybe even a little younger, maybe 5. So, but I lived there pretty much my whole my whole kind of childhood, my first whatever 5 years, but because we lived in kind of Cleveland area, and then we moved there for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Oberlin's sweet. It's a nice little town. It's a cool little college town.
So Oberlin is like year in and year out, it trades with like Harvard,
Yeah,
Penn, Columbia as the most expensive school in America. Did you know that?
yeah. I actually didn't know that, but Yeah, I knew Oberlin was pretty interesting, but I did not know that. That's crazy. Wow.
It's like crazy. I think like Danny
I
DeVito's
you
kids
would,
went there. Nicolas
I would
Cage's
never think
kids went.
that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's great, and I believe it's the fake college and road trip too. The road trip movie. I think it's Oberlin
Really?
College.
I haven't seen that
Yes,
movie. I gotta watch it. That's
but
crazy.
your grandma Ruth still lives in Oberlin.
Oh yeah, same house. So we get to go back to Oberlin a couple times a year, like for Christmas, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. Sometimes we'll just go up and hang out with Oma. But that's crazy. Yeah. But Oberlin's a cool little town. It's small, but it's cool. It's nice going back.
Dude, your
Sweet.
dad never told you the story about beating like your mom, your mom's. Was it your mom's cousin or your mom's brother up?
I've never heard this story
You've never heard this
ever.
story?
No.
Okay. Your brother went to the world championship. I'm sorry, your dad and Cale Sanderson were teammates on like a U15
Yeah.
team. Did you know that?
It was like similar to me. I think at the time it was just like Cadet World. It was because we made pretty much the same team,
Yes,
essentially.
correct.
But they adjusted the ages by like a year. But yeah,
Your
same
dad's
same
was
team
probably
that I played.
U16.
Yes, that's what it was.
And I think Coach Cale either got a bronze, or I think he either got I
Yeah,
think he got a silver.
he got a medal.
He
Yeah,
got a medal, but I don't think he was very happy with what it wasn't gold. I know that.
yeah,
Okay. So it was in Budapest, Hungary. Okay.
yeah.
But then I hope telling this story. And I'm never going to be able to do it justice like your dad telling it. But so they went to, afterwards, they went to Germany
To
to
visit.
your Oma's, your grandma's hometown, and they went to like a backyard barbecue. And I think it was one of your mom's cousins or her brothers. I think it was a cousin. It was like a little wrestling guy, and he had cut off jean shorts.
Oh my
He
god.
came up, and he couldn't speak English, so
Yeah.
and he's like, "It's Russell," like to your
I
dad.
said Russell.
Yeah, 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 right. Um, and of course, your dad puts him down underneath, spins around,
Oh.
goes behind, and catches a bow and arrow on the guy.
Oh my god.
This
Oh
is
my
like
gosh.
your mom's. This is like your mom's cousin or brother or whoever it was. And he says he could just hear your mom being like, your grandma being like, Scotty, no. And he's like, "Do-do, do-do, do-do, do-do," and he rolled the guy. Oh, the German guy screaming in German. Your
Oh my
dad's
god.
16 kicking the tar out of him, 15 kicking the tar out of him. And your
Holy
your
cow.
uh your your grandma was like, no, Scotty, no. He-
Dude, I gotta talk to him about this after this. That's crazy.
yes. Then
That's hilarious.
has he ever told you the story about Tom Miller, my dad, not my son
I don't
Tom
think
Miller, my
so.
dad, and my
But yeah, I
brother
don't.
hitting him with the truck?
No,
You've never heard the story about
dude.
my dad? I can't even do that one.
No,
Your dad has to tell you the story about my brother Tate.
he's gatekeeping all these stories for me, dude.
He's the gatekeeper. I
That's
don't like
crazy.
that. I thought we got into some stories.
I
Maybe you weren't paying attention on the road trip we took.
I don't. I mean, dude, that was a while ago, though. I don't remember all the little stories from that.
Yeah,
That
there
trip
were a
was
lot
sweet,
of there
but
was a
I
lot of
don't.
stories. There was a lot of stories.
Well, and some of the times I would like have my headphones on and stuff, though, so I was a little zoned out, maybe. But
Yeah. Well, that's on you.
yeah, that's
It's
true.
not
That is
on
on me
me.
for
When
sure.
you look at obviously not growing up in a typical family, one of the wrestling families of the state of Ohio and in the Midwest, what sticks out to you is maybe that wasn't normal. Maybe that's something that nobody else is doing. Maybe this is a little different than how other people are spending their summers or how they spend their Sundays or their Monday nights or
Yeah,
whatever it may be. Is there anything that sticks out to you as
yeah. I
unusual about your family?
I think maybe more just a wrestling thing, but like I wrestle 365 days right? Like I don't have there's no like long like break, right? Or like off season. Like you would have downtime, but like ever since I started doing freestyle when I was 6 years old. I've been wrestling 24/7 year round. So I think that was a little bit different than some of the kids like that I was friends with. Like a lot of the kids that I was friends with played sports, right? But they weren't like always invested in their sport, right? Like 24/7. So I think that would probably be it. But I don't know, man. We had this cool when we lived in Wasion. We had this rope in our garage, and my dad would take me out there, and I would just climb it a bunch. So maybe that's a little different. I don't know if 6-year-olds were doing a whole bunch of ropes my age in Wasion, but maybe that. But I think probably that just like the constant wrestling. Like it was sweet. It was awesome, obviously, and it still is. But I think that's probably I would say the biggest difference. And not that other sports or other kids aren't doing stuff year round, which they are. It's just like wrestling, you literally have competitions year round. Like I don't have a I mean, like you have season from December to March, and then you get into freestyle right away, like literally right away, wrestle freestyle the entire spring and summer, especially if you're doing like world stuff, and then you pretty much roll right into preseason stuff. So it's pretty much a year-round thing where you have to be like ready to compete and training. So there's like your downtime and stuff, but
So no off
I was,
season and just always being ready, always prepared,
yeah,
always just on it, and always just like it's a part of your life no matter what.
yeah, yeah,
But you love
for
that,
sure.
right? There's a part of that you love, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and I think to like this preseason, like we did a good job of like letting my body rest and giving me some downtime because like obviously like resting a whole lot, like you're gonna have some small like lingering injuries and stuff like that. So just knowing when to like rest and maybe I don't have to do this competition or something like that, right? Like I didn't do a Super 32 or a grappler this year. Just letting my body and my either my mind rest a little bit, just taking some downtime, and then obviously getting right back to it. But yeah, I love it though.
You never won the Ironman. The Ironman's coming up here in 2 weeks. What do you got to do differently? You've placed in it twice. What do you got to do
Yep.
differently to win the Walsh Ironman this year at Walsh Jesuit?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to just do with my mindset and how I'm approaching these matches. Like I think I just have to go out there and try and score a lot of points. I think when I look back to especially Ironman, the matches that I've lost, um, I haven't gotten takedowns. I think that's like the biggest thing. Like how can you win a match if you're not getting takedowns, right? So I think that just goes back to me to like I said, my mindset. Like I just got to be more offensive and looking to score more points. So Ironman's a banger tournament. Obviously, like I got fourth my freshman year, seventh last year. It's we talked about it earlier. It's like literally you got guys from Illinois, PA, Ohio, New York, New Jersey, Oklahoma, like guys from everywhere, right? So it's a really good tournament, super tough. But both years I've lost in the quarters, so I just gotta go in with an open mindset of scoring points and just being focused the whole tournament. Um, I feel like a lot of aspects right now of my wrestling I'm really dialing in, and I feel good. So it'll be good to get a tournament this weekend, and then we'll be ready to go out there and scrap. But yeah, I think I just gotta if I'm going out there and scoring as many points as I can, and looking to bonus guys, I think I'll have a lot of success. So, but yeah, I'm really excited for Ironman. It's an awesome tournament. They do a great job, and obviously like Walsh, they just got the I don't know like that aura right in the building. It's kind of sweet. There's been a bunch of crazy battles in there, so it's super fun, and especially when you have a team like us, like Perrysburg, where we could have like multiple players and stuff like that, right? Like we got a lot of good guys that could go out there and scrap. So that's always really fun, right? Wrestling with your guys. So, but yeah, just gotta go on with the mindset of scoring points, and I just can't lose focus throughout the whole tournament. Just gotta focus, and hopefully, good things should happen.
You look at your how your top has evolved. You've gotten so much better on top. You're scoring points in state finals from tilt,
Yeah,
from top position. Obviously, we talked about the scrambling earlier, and your great gift and ability to have your body awareness, your body kinesthetics is
yeah,
really obviously a level up. But when we
yeah.
look at it, oh, we're running out of juice, huh?
I am ten
All right.
percent. Just hit.
Uh-oh.
Now I'll be good.
Uh-oh.
I got my
Get it
charger.
plugged in.
We're
But
good.
when
We
we look
got
at
it.
that, we look at your scrambling ability is obviously a next level, but you took your top game to a whole nother
Yeah,
level last year in the state finals. You had some top work, was really impressive last year at the Ironman against Blair, I think it was. Maybe that was 2 years ago. But I was
yeah,
just super impressed, man. You're throwing bars, pinning guys, you're tilting. You got an underappreciated top game, but how about your mad IQ and how much you communicate with the coaching staff at Perrysburg and your dad and the other coaches? How do you figure out these little things, and how much do you guys really communicate in tournament, in the
Yeah.
hotel, in the lobby, in the warm-up room, in the tunnel, mat side, in match adjustments? How much communication is done there between you and the Perrysburg staff?
Yeah, I think you like pretty much hit the nail on the head right there. Like, there's so much communications going on between me, my dad, Coach Witt, Coach Nutter, like all of our staff. Like in the room, we're constantly working on small things and different pressures, and like specifically for top, like different pressures, obviously different moves, like just different things, like mat returns, like staying stingy. Like that's a lot where that communication part comes in, and then even stuff like we kind of brought it up, like match IQ stuff. Like my coaches do such a good job of letting me know the situation and letting me know like what's going on. Like, hey, you got a stall call to burn, or like things like that, right? Like, hey, you're losing by one. This is when you got to cut the guy. We'll give you 30 seconds to turn the guy, and then let him go and go get a takedown, right? So things like that, like they just do a really good job of communicating and like even like asking me questions, right? Like, hey, do you feel comfortable doing this or doing that, or what do you feel about this? I think that's what we really do well at Perrysburg. Um, and yeah, but we are constantly tinkering on mat wrestling, and like you said, like even a guy like me who's pretty good on top and pretty successful, like I can even bring it to a whole other level, right? I can start really like turning like these really really good guys, and then that can absolutely like blow a match open, right? So if I can take a guy down, turn him, and then get away, it's going to be really hard to beat me. So I think that's another good way to look at matches and tournaments and my wrestling overall. Like if you can, like I said, find a way to take a guy down and then get on top of a guy and ride him and turn him and then get away from the guy, like it's going to be really hard to beat you. So that's how we're always thinking. We're always just thinking of different ways to turn guys, get ride out when we need to ride guys out, right? We do a lot of 30-30s in the room. So that's literally simulated 30-30 overtimes. Like you got to hold them down or you got to get away. So we do a good job of training that. And then, like I just said, like the communication part, they do a really good job of letting you know the situation and letting you know what they think and whatnot.
When we think of Penn State and committing to Penn State, this is just, I'm going to put this right out there. Nothing's guaranteed at Penn State.
No,
There's no
yeah.
spot waiting for you, right? You can look at their 133 situation, right? You understand that Marcus Blaze is the starter right now, but I believe the Olympic champ is also in the roster at the weight.
Yep. Massa.
Okay?
Yeah.
We have an All American in Nagao also
He's
at the weight.
41.
He's 41. Okay, but he was
Yep.
an All American at 33.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
when you look up and down the lineup, nothing's a guarantee. There's
Yeah.
no spot waiting for you. Graver, that's not going to be the 133, the 125, the 140. It's just not. You got to battle it out there. It's the
Mm-hmm.
best room in the country. Obviously, their NCAA, their Big Ten performance year in and year out proves that. So we know that. But great, you could go and you could have to do the Terrell Barraclaw, right? Like, is that
Mm-hmm.
ever a thought that comes to your mind? Like, I could go to this place and not be the starter, but it's still going to be the best place for me to grow as a person and a wrestler. Is that ever
Right.
a thought in your mind in this whole process?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it is a thought in my mind, but I think regardless, you're gonna have to beat guys out, right? Wherever you go in college, I mean, we're talking about Division 1, Big Ten college. You're gonna have to beat a good dude out, right? You're gonna have to beat another high recruit or an upperclassman that's been there for a little bit, right? So I think regardless, you're gonna have to beat guys out. But like you said, Penn State has the best room in the country, and I think that kind of even makes it more appealing, to want to go there, right? Like every day you go in the room, you're going to be battling guys no matter who you grab. So that makes it even kind of more appealing, right? Like I said, you're going to be battling dudes every day. And I think just understanding I've grown at every level of the sport, and I think I'm going to continue getting better and getting better at wrestling. And whatever they want from me is what I'll do, right? I think that's what I really like about them. It's just we'll figure things out. You know what I mean? If whatever, you got a red shirt, you gotta sit. But I just think if I continue progressing, continue growing, I'll have my opportunities and whatnot. So, and obviously that's a while away. Still got a couple years of high school, but yeah, it's just exciting. I think just being in that room in general is super super cool.
A guy like Nate Desmond's a guy you're going to have to battle. I don't think you're going to see much time with Luke Lilledal, and you would be passing. You'd be maybe different years, maybe overlap a year, maybe a redshirt year. I don't know that, right? There's those guys. You look at those guys. Obviously, you're not going to be there for Nagao. Oh no, I'm hearing it's a one and done. I don't know. We don't know that.
Mhm.
But that could be you're running into him. You could see Dundee guy, right?
Yeah, Braden.
Braden, right? I mean, there's
Yeah,
just
he's.
all these guys. I'm looking when I look at Braden Davis. He's a Big Ten champ. He was the number one seed 2 years ago at 125. If you think about that,
Mhm.
it's up to 41 now. Obviously Nagao, you're gonna miss Nagao, but like when you
Yeah,
look at that roster and you look at that, I mean, it is ominous, if you will. That's something where you're gonna have to get better every day. What do you
yeah.
feel the coaching staff and what you saw in your interactions with them, and maybe your conversations with Marcus Blaze, the Blazes in general. What really makes you think that they're the program to get you to the next level and to be able to continue to win Russell-offs and be the guy in their lineup?
Yeah, I think just like like I can almost like you can see it happen like right every day or like when I've been up there for my visit or if I've just been up there training, I can literally see like everyone training here and if they're buying in, they're getting better, right? Even if they're not necessarily a starter, they're getting better. And like literally they have guys making world teams and getting world medals and they're not even starters, right? Like they're thriving even though they're not a quote unquote starter. So it's like we can literally see it with our own eyes. And like I said, I think it's just trust in the coaching system and what they think. Like that was, when Coach Kale came and had our home visit, like my parents, like normal questions, like, hey, so where do you see Gray, whatever, weight class wise, and that's something like we don't even know, like that, like I said, that's 2 years away. I don't know how I'll grow. Like probably end up being up 33. We'll see. Like I don't know how I'll grow, but it's like, and Coach Kale's response was like, yeah, I mean, we don't really have literally like any plans, right? Like we just kind of figure it out. Everyone gets in here, we figure out what weight you are. If you got to drop, you got to get like it is what it is, right? We'll figure it out and we'll put the best lineup out there. So I think I really like that. They don't really have any plans. Like I'm sure, obviously, you have plans, but nothing like is set in stone, right? So I think, and they do a good job of letting guys battle it out for the spot too. I mean, right, like entering guys at tournaments and wrestle offs and whatnot. But I just yeah, I just really like everything they're doing there, and I think you can literally see everyone just growing as wrestlers and people in the room, even if they're not necessarily a starter, right? And I think it is just like that. It comes down to like the whole like wrestle off thing. It's like that's almost like you got to like bet on yourself a little bit, right? I mean, those are gonna be my teammates and everything, right? So it's like those are your guys, but it's like it really comes down to like you're the guy out there wrestling, right? So it's you gotta kind of bet on yourself a little bit. Um, so that's a factor too, right? But we'll when it comes down to it, we'll see. You know what I mean? I'm cool for whatever they want me to do though.
You've never backed down from a challenge. You have supreme confidence.
Yeah,
Where do you think the supreme confidence and never backing down and chasing challenges year after year? The U17, you got in the finals, then the next year you get upset, you take third, you make the team, you win a
yeah,
bronze. You're fighting, you're always fighting. You won 3 junior high state titles, your 2 state titles, and now there's going to be a guy that's going to be vision questing to get you for trying to win your 3rd state title, a tough weight. You arguably won um, 2 of the toughest weights I think I've ever seen at the state wrestling tournament. Um,
hmm
it's impressive. You continue to up the ante. Where does the supreme confidence come from to chase the constant best competition? Your parents used to seem to put you in a disadvantage a lot of the time, sometimes in some of the tournament
yeah,
training. But where do
yeah.
you where does this internal drive and the supreme confidence come from?
Yeah, it's actually funny. I remember when we went on vacation a couple of years ago, we talked about like this was like probably a while ago, probably like 5 years ago, and we were talking about like how I lose a lot, and I think that's like that kind of shows it. Like we're not scared of me. Like I'm saying, my family, like we're not scared of competition or going and get the best wrestlers, right? Like I never like when I was little and stuff, I never cut weight or anything. Like I just went out when I wrestled, scrap with some guys. You know what I mean? Like whoever wins wins. So I think that was a big like has always been a big thing. Like, hey, we're just gonna go out there and scrap. And I think like to like answer your question, I think it's just kind of came from my family in general. Like we're all like super mentally tough. Like my sister's a beast, my brother's a beast. Like my parents obviously both D1, right? Like all like they all get it, and like we've never just shied away from competition or hard things. Like that's kind of what we want. That's what you look for. Like if you're whatever you're doing, if it's just a bunch of easy things, you might not be doing the right things, right? So I mean, whatever you're doing should be challenging. And I think my parents have done a great job of like just raising me to, always seek the best challenge and just continue to find the best competition. And that's how you get better, right? You don't get better by wrestling at the local biddy tournament once a year. And then, right, you gotta seek out those really good matches or those really good partners and those really good coaches. So, yeah.
You used to get like 10, 11, 12 losses a year in the youth and the
Yeah.
middle school, I remember.
Yeah.
And obviously that's dwindled and dwindled and dwindled. What would an undefeated season mean to you? Or is it just not even like, I want to do what
Yeah.
best,
Yeah.
what
I
I
mean, yeah, like it is what it is. Like like that's pretty. I mean, that's in the back of my mind, right? Like obviously that'd be really cool. Obviously I haven't done it yet. I've lost the Ironman a couple of years. I dropped the match at districts my freshman year, so it's like haven't done it yet. And obviously Ironman's like our best tournament. So in order to do that, you got to win Ironman, and that's been one of my biggest goals for the last couple of years. So I think that's a really cool. That would be a really cool thing to accomplish, but it's not necessarily like a goal in my mind, right? It's not a goal to become a NCAA champ, right? Or to become a four-time state champ or whatever, right? To become a world champ. That's not one of my, one of the goals in the forefront of my mind, but it'd just be another really cool thing to do. I think we've only had Marcus has probably been the only one that's done that before. Unless we've had guys not wrestle Ironman or something, but
I
I
think
think Joey might have done it.
Moises, right?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Moises won
actually, yeah.
Ironman,
So,
didn't he?
yep. So Moises, I don't know if he dropped the match during the year. He probably didn't, but Moises might have done it. Marcus, I think Joey did the 1 year because he was hurt, so he didn't wrestle an Ironman, and we think he probably would have won Ironman that year. That's not being like arrogant or anything. He was just a beast. His senior year and stuff, he was a
The
monster.
NCAA finalist, Joey Blaze, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, that guy.
I
Just
don't
that.
think you're being arrogant. I think everybody
Yeah,
gets that Joey
that.
Blaze probably could have ran the table in a high school tournament and
Yeah,
won him at undefeated. So I got to give Joey Blaze a little bit of grace there.
that
Tough.
Boilermaker, that
He's
dude,
tough.
that beast.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
tough.
he was that coming off a Super 32 belt too. He was
Yeah, he won
beast.
the super.
But
That's right. Um,
dude, and then that year Miles got third too. Forgot about it. He almost
Miles Tackett. Listen,
did it.
Miles
Lost.
Tackett
He,
is below the radar. We can't talk about him because then that brings him up into people's
yeah,
radar
I
view.
know,
No, I love him.
dude.
Hey,
He's
Cleveland
underrated.
this year, 174. He might put him on notice. And Miles Tackett
He
is
might.
look out. He's big. He cuts weight. He's mean. He wants to win. He's smart. I like him. I like him a
Yeah,
lot. Thanks for
hardest
bringing him
worker.
up.
Literally the
He
hardest
deserves
worker
that.
we've ever known.
Love him.
He's a beast, dude.
Um,
All of our guys.
in the rubric, we talked about a rubric earlier. A rubric is like a checklist, essentially, and
Yep.
you're assessing things via columns. Okay. As you're assessing things via the column and you're grading them and you're awarding them a numerical number, four's the best, zero's the worst, right?
Mm-hmm.
Athletic training facilities, wrestling room, student snacks, NIL, all this other thing,
Yeah,
right? We're doing the
yeah.
rubric. When we did the rubric, did Penn State, Ohio State, and Nebraska, did they stack up pretty similarly to one another on the rubric
Yeah,
in your
for
family?
sure. Yeah, yeah. Like we won't get into like numbers and everything, but like they were all really close, right? And I mean that just speaks to them their programs just individually. Like they're all really good programs, right? And they were all fairly close in like the whatever the little point system we had. So yeah, I mean they were all really close. And that like rubric wasn't the end all be all, but that was just a really good tool to put everything in perspective and like this is what we're looking at, right? So but yeah, I mean they were all fairly close.
Okay. In the NIL era, right? Obviously, I don't think you're allowed to like discuss what any of the deals are, and that's not.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really podcast material, but some
Yeah,
people would tell you, right? But when we look at the NIL name, image, likeness era, they're paying college kids, right?
yeah,
Um, when you looked at all the deals and were there was it how is that set out and how do you talk about that and how is that topic breached and how is that discussed and does
yeah.
everybody have an NIL guy that comes in and breaks it down to you? Is it like that?
Right. Yeah. No. So not necessarily. Yeah, like it was. There wasn't. It wasn't really like that. Like a lot of it was the coaches like presenting you with whatever like your offer. Like you're gonna get a full ride. You're gonna get a hat. Whatever. Like normally like you get a. We'll give you half a scholarship. Like whatever. How it goes. Like that kind of thing. So there wasn't really like an NIL person, but yeah. Like for us, that really wasn't even a big factor, and that's like from the bottom of our heart. Like we really didn't. We never brought it up once on our visits. Whenever it got brought up, it was just when you got into like the offers, right, and the stuff like that. But it wasn't a factor, and it still isn't, and I don't think it will ever will be. Like I said, I'm doing this because I love wrestling, right, and I wanna, and I just really I just really love wrestling, right. I'm gonna go to the place that best fits me, right, has the best wrestling, best academics, best people. So it wasn't the money part isn't ever going to be a factor, right, for us. Like it doesn't really that is like completely bonus, right? That's not even in the front of my mind at all. So that's how we approach that. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything too complicated. Like it was just the coaches present you with what they got, and then yeah, you just kind of talk it over. So
In all of this, you're looking at the three: Nebraska, Ohio State, Penn State. Is there an aha moment or is there a thing where you can like really draw back to it where you're like, yeah, this is the place for me? Is there something that jumped out about Penn State in the room, walking the campus, ride home with mom and dad, whatever it might have been, flight,
yeah,
you flew, whatever you did? What's the
honestly,
aha moment?
yeah,
What's the thing? What's the this
yeah.
is where I'm gonna be?
Yeah, it's like a lot of people talk about like when you like visit a place, you're like, oh yeah, man, this is a spot for me. Like this is it. Like I don't think necessarily for me it was that. I don't think it was like I visited these places or I visited Penn State and I was like, yeah, it's done deal. This is what I feel. Like I felt it. Like right. I don't think it was necessarily that. I think it kind of took a little bit to settle in. Um, and just a lot of talks with my parents and like just thinking in general, like thinking back to my visit, like wow, like I really do feel like I like fit in there really well, right? Or like all the interactions I had with the guys and the coaches, like I really felt like I could really like belong here and do well here, right? And make this be my new home. So I don't think it was necessarily like an aha moment, but I think as time went on, like I was like, wow, I think it would just be really cool to like be in the Lion, right? I think it was just I just really felt I fit in there like really well, really well. So I don't. It wasn't like it was actually kind of weird because I was. It's funny because like everyone like talks about like that aha moment, and it's like you're kind of like going through it, and you're like almost like waiting around for it, and it's like it didn't really like happen, right? It wasn't like boom, like that's what it. You know what I mean? So it was kind of funny, but yeah, I think just it took a little time, um and now it's like, yeah, I feel really good about it, right? So it wasn't really like a
Was
boom,
it
that's the
like
place.
Coach Kale brought out like a tray of
No,
shrimp with
no,
Mountain Dews and was like,
no,
"Here you
yeah,
go"?
no,
It wasn't like,
yeah, no,
okay,
it wasn't like that at all,
got
which
it.
is like weird because people like have always been like, oh, I stepped foot on that campus and that was where
I
I was
just
going. Like,
knew.
I did, yeah,
I
like it,
just
oh,
knew.
like it just, I started, oh, I got goosebumps. Like it wasn't like I wasn't like that, right? So it
Yeah,
was, but it was cool. But yeah, I mean, I like after all your visits, like visits are really fun. They're cool. You get to hang out with other
yeah.
recruits and obviously the coaches and stuff. So like after all your visits, you're gonna like that place. But luckily for me, I only had three, so it was like obviously I liked all those places. But I just think it took a little bit of time to settle in and just some talks with my family and whatever. Just just coaches in general. And I think I knew. So yeah.
Did you see anything in practice that you like was Bo Nickel there? Was
So
Star
yeah, I
there?
mean
Was like the
well,
stars out
that's
or anything like that?
yeah, I mean that's the other cool thing about Penn State is like they're alumni and like everything is like they just got so much going on, right? I mean you got Bo Nickel knocking dudes out in the UFC. You have I don't even 10 guys in the world team, age doubles kicking butt on the world level. You have all the college guys, and then you have guys like me who are like either committed or looking to go there, coming in wrestling, right? So like their practices are almost like a hodgepodge sometimes, and they gotta get creative with that, and that's like a really cool thing, right? I mean, they're providing opportunities for a lot of different guys. So yeah, but I mean, you can walk in on a normal Tuesday and see Bo Nickel wrestling with some guys. I mean, you got everyone, just all the coaches doing circuits, Coach Varner wrestling whoever, like whoever, literally anything. So that's it's really cool. But yeah, I mean, just their overall philosophy with wrestling is just awesome. I mean, every day going in playing dodgeball, right? Just getting better at wrestling, having fun. So that's kind of what we do here at Perrysburg. So it's cool.
Okay. Last thing, I know you got to go bowl. You got some buddies to hang out. You
I
got
do.
stuff to do. Okay, we only got a couple minutes. Do you
It's all
remember
good.
when the juggernaut ran through the door
Oh
as
my
a 10-year
God.
old kid at your house?
This is one of the greatest, like literally the greatest stories of all time. Like it, and we'll like look back and just be like, this is insane. I mean, so it was at our house at Cherry Street, little teeny
Perrysburg,
tiny house
in Perrysburg.
during during the super summer. So the super summer was just a bunch of dudes, a bunch of guys, a bunch of wrestlers hanging out at my house all summer long and just literally scrapping every day, riding bikes around town, getting ice cream, and playing basketball. That was literally it. So I mean, it was the names are. I mean, it was me, Marcus Blaze, Joey Blaze, Casey Swiderski, Ty Swiderski, Logan Brown. You got Cole Skinner, and then Eli Spencer. So a lot. That was like the eight. A couple would come and go every once in a while, but that was like literally for months over that summer. We would all just hang out, play video games, play basketball, beat the heck out of each other in wrestling, ride bikes around town, and go to Mr. Freeze and get ice cream. So that was that. But to get back to the story, all right, I'm sitting on in our little back room, like our little spare whatever you would call it. There's a TV, there's a little pull out bed, and I'm playing with Legos on the ground. So I dumped this big box of Legos out. I'm playing with them, and I'm still pretty young, so I'm building stuff. And Casey Swiderski comes running through like like you said, juggernaut. And
Nine,
there's
nine,
this,
9 or 10 years old.
yeah, no, 9 or 10 years old. And we have this just door, like sliding door,
Sliding
um,
glass door.
sliding glass door, and that's the key. It's glass, so you can see through it. And if you look at it a certain way, it might look like there's nothing there, but whatever. So I'm like playing with Legos on the ground, and this dude comes running through like and leaps over my pile of Legos, like jumps over it. And this was like a couple feet pile of Legos, like jumps over it and just keeps going. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he just keeps going. So anyway, literally juggernauts through the glass and literally hits his hands and gets up and keeps running. Like was like,
Hands in the
oh,
glass.
yes, hands on the glass.
Oh.
And dude, this story has so much depth. It's awesome. But literally, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, super loud, like glass breaks, like people come like running through. Like my mom's like, oh my gosh, what happened? Runs out there and Casey gets up and he's like, oh my gosh, like shards of glass in his hands all over.
10-year-old
So
kid.
insane, but like an absolute freak. And like if you know
Casey
Casey,
Swiderski, therefore, is the juggernaut. Greg,
no, he is.
Greg, thank you for the time. Bull
Yeah,
300. We are.
we are Penn State, baby. Let's go.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
All right, yep. Thanks. I'll see you.